Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today is day 36 of my journey to learn Japanese. And this series of live streams, it's all about documenting my progress at learning Japanese, having started as a complete beginner. My goal for today is to continue expanding my Japanese vocabulary, especially for listening comprehension. And in order to do so, I'm going to continue working with the Lingo Command website, which is what we've got on screen here. Yesterday, I was learning a list of verbs in the vocab section here. But I've been holding out on this one section, which is like food. And so that would be the goal for today, actually. So I'm going to pivot to food because I think that would be nice, kind of change your pace. And so here I've got this list of basic vocabulary. We've got English on the left and Japanese on the right. And I'm going to be looking at the Japanese here in hiragana and katakana. And we've got these audio buttons here if you want to know how the word is pronounced.
トマト、
Okay, up the volume here a little bit.
バナナ、じゃがいも、
Jagaimo.
パン、
So this is great. And I think what I'll do is I'll select a subset of about 5 words here. And we've already heard the pronunciation for these first 3. So let's just listen to the next one here. So this would be pan,
パン、
and this is pasta.
パスタ、
Pasta. So this should be fairly straightforward. To start off with, I'm gonna practice going from Japanese to English. So let's take a look at this. So this is jagaimo, which is potatoes. And this is tomato, which is tomatoes. Or tomato. I suppose in Japanese, because there isn't a plural singular, either will do. So you should probably make a code change based on that. Potatoes. This is tomato. This is banana. That's self-explanatory, it's banana. And pan comes presumably from the French word bread. And this is in katakana, so we know it's a loan word. So this is just bread. And pasta, once again, katakana, it's a loan word, so that's pasta. So that was a bit of a trivial exercise so far. So I think, what we'll do here is we'll uncheck this and we're going to add another 5 words to learn, right? So this is 3, 4, 5. And let's select those extra 5 words. And rice is gohan. Let's check the pronunciation.
ご飯、
Beef is gyu niku. Now niku is meat. I don't know what gyu means, but that helps that this niku here is part of the word beef.
牛肉、
Chicken is chicken. Okay, so it's literally the same pronunciation as English. It's a loan word.
チキン、
And then fish cooked is sakana.
魚、
And then pork is buta niku. So this is niku is again meat. Buta is pig. So pig's meat is pork. That's nice.
豚肉、
Okay, so I think the trick here would be to just kind of immediately go into the quiz and see how we do. So this says tomato. It's a loan word, so that's straightforward enough. Banana is banana. Jagaimo is potatoes. And then this is pan. Pan means bread in French. It's a loan word in Japanese. So this is just bread. And this is pasta, self-explanatory. And then gohan is rice. Gyu niku was beef. Chicken is chicken. Now, of course, niwatori is the animal. Chicken. So I don't know if there's like a distinguishment or if there's two ways to say chicken in Japanese. Sakana is fish. That should be acceptable. I think I'll make a code change just to ensure that won't happen again. This is pork. So let's just very quickly make some updates here to ensure that the user experience is good. So we had pork. Let's make this full screen. So this is foods 1 list. And we should allow tomato and tomatoes. Both are acceptable. Same here. Yeah, perfect. So then here, potato should be allowed. This is wrong actually. We want to keep this. And then bread is fine, pasta is fine, rice is fine, so is beef, chicken, fish. So here I think fish should also be allowed as an answer. I think that's acceptable. Water and milk, that's fine. So let's push these changes. Fix ensuring allowed answers in foods 1 topic are reasonable. We'll just push that. And then we also want to push that change to the development branch. And then we're done with this. Sorry for the side kind of tangent here. But now in 2 minutes time, this quiz will be, those changes will be pushed and we'll have a more user-friendly experience. But we'll apply random ordering and go one more time in the meantime. So this is chicken. Jagaimo is potatoes, or potato. And I think it's worth just checking quickly. Jagaimo, is it? So I think in Japanese, there's not really a distinguishment between singular and plural. Like you don't change the noun or the word. Yeah, so this holds up. This just seems to be a general rule of thumb in Japanese that it's the same word whether it's singular or plural. Okay, so juniku is beef. Sakana is fish. We'll put cooked here in brackets. Banana is banana. This is bread. Tomato is tomato. Gohan is rice. Pasta is pasta. And butaniku is directly translated means pig's meat. Which is pork in English. So with that done, the only kind of reasonable next step would be to do the whole vocab list. So let's uncheck select words and we'll put the Japanese on the right and we'll uncheck random ordering. And so that just leaves us with mizu, which is water,
水、
and milk, which is gyu, gyunyu.
牛乳、
Now this is interesting because this gyu is also used for beef. So I'm thinking this gyu has something to do with like cow. Maybe it's like cow's milk. We could spend a quick moment to Google what does gyu mean. Because cow is ushi. Cattle. Okay, that makes sense. So let's now do the quiz again. So apply swap languages, so the questions are posed in Japanese, and then we answer the questions in English. We'll apply random ordering. And let's give this a go. So, gyu new is milk. Chicken is chicken. Pan is bread. Banana is banana. Then this is gyu niku, which is beef. And then the next one here is buta niku. I'm just gonna get some water, by the way. My throat is pretty parched. So yeah, buta niku is directly translates to pig's meat, which is pork. And then the next word is tomato, is tomato. Jagaimo is potatoes. Now, I'm wondering, because this is katakana, that sort of implies that this is a loan word. It'd be interesting to know a loan word from what language. Mizu means water. Gohan is rice. Pasta is pasta. And sakana is fish, cooked. So that was fine, fantastic. I suppose what we could do now is we could uncheck swap languages. Reapply random ordering, so that scrambles the order in which the questions are asked. And then we can try writing our answers in hiragana and katakana. So this was something like gyu new. Bread was pan. So that's going to be katakana. This was chi ken. But it might have been chicken, like this actually. Beef was a hiragana word. So this would be gyu niku. And then this is katakana again, it's tomato. Water is mizu. But for that one, we're going to use hiragana. Mizu. This is sakana. This is fish. Oh, this is going to be tricky. So this is katakana, and it's jagaimo. Okay, that was okay. Pa, su, ta. So you don't pronounce the U in su. It's pasta. And then this one, we start by writing the word for pig, which is buta. Niku means meat. So buta niku means pork. And then here we're back to katakana, and this is banana. For this one, we're going to use hiragana, and it's gohan. Well, let's keep that as hiragana for now. So that was pretty straightforward. So I guess that means we can graduate to food too. And for that, we're going to uncheck random ordering, and we'll select the first 5 words. So this is avocado, beans, beet, cauliflower, and celery. And let's take a look at these words. Avocado.
アボカド、
Mame.
豆、
So I'm just checking the pronunciation here for these words. This is beetle.
ビート、
Cauliflower. Whoa. Cauliflower. Cauliflower.
カリフラワ
Oh, this is wa. It is. Cauliflower. Cauliflower. Cauliflower.
カリフラワ
Cauliflower. Okay, cool. And then celery is celery.
ー、セロリ、
So this is actually not too bad so far because it's for the most part just a bunch of English loanwords. So apply random ordering. We'll swap the languages and give this a go. So beetle is beet. And we'll want to write this just in British English. Beet. Cauliflower. And this is avocado, which is avocado. So I'm just misspelling the English word here. Fine. Celery is celery. And mame means beans. So that's pretty good. Let's just apply random ordering and just do one more round. Avocado. Cauliflower is cauliflower. Mame is beans. Celery is celery. And hito is... Sorry, this is beetle, which means beet. So we'll go back to the study section, uncheck random ordering, and let's add another 5 words to go study. So we've got lettuce, radish, apricot, grape, and lemon. Fantastic. And we'll uncheck swap languages, so we've got the Japanese on the right. And so here, lettuce is retasu.
レタス、
Yes, apparently in Japanese they don't really have the sound for L, so they use R. And this is kind of in between an L and an R in English. Retasu.
レタス、
Radish is Hatsuka Daikon. Daikon? Hatsuka Daikon.
20日大根、
Cool. Hatsuka Daikon is a radish. Anzu
あんず、
is apricot. And this is Budo is a grape.
ぶどう、
And this is Remon.
レモン、
Remon.
レモン、
Okay. So let's apply the quiz. And we'll swap the languages so the questions are asked in Japanese, and we answer in English. Apply random ordering. So, Hatsuka Daikon was radish. Serori is celery. Anzu is apricot. Beetle is beet. Budo is grape. Mame is beans. Remon is lemon. Avocado is avocado. Retasu is lettuce. And cauliflower is cauliflower. Fantastic. So we're really kind of benefiting from these loan words. Kind of makes the quiz substantially easier. Let's just do one more round just to kind of confirm that we've learned this. So anzu was apricot. Beetle is beet. Oh, hi there, George. Is this better? Perhaps I was too far away from the mic. Okay, so the next one is retasu is lettuce. Thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate that. Budo is grape. How are you today? So cauliflower, that's kind of self-explanatory. Cauliflower. And this is avocado, so that's avocado. Avocado. Red celery is celery. And so when you see this katakana, usually the loan word comes from English, so that makes it fairly straightforward. But for example, this is hiragana, mame. Glad to hear that. That's awesome. Mame is in hiragana, so that's just like a native Japanese word. It's not loaned from a foreign language. So mame just means beans. And the next one here is remon. And this is kind of tricky to pronounce for an English speaker because they don't. This sound is somewhere between an R and an L. But yeah, lemon is lemon. And then Hatsuka Daikon is a radish. So this is going fairly well, so I think it's time to up the difficulty level a bit by adding another 5 words to learn. So we'll add lime, peach, pear, pineapple, and raisin. We'll hide the unselected words. And let's check the pronunciation. So a lime is raimu, raimu, laimu.
ライム、
This is momo.
もも、
And then this is yonashi.
よなし、
Okay, nice. This is pineapple. Pineapple.
パイナップル、
It's worth pointing out, by the way, that this is a half-sized tsu in katakana called sokuon. So you don't pronounce the tsu here. It's a silent pause that places extra emphasis on the consonant in the next katakana. So this here, normally it's fu, but because of the handakuten circle here, it's pu. And if we, for example, looked at the romaji for this word, you're going to see this double P, right? And that double P, that extra emphasis on the P, comes from this little sokuon, this half-sized tsu. Moving on. So for raisin, we have hashi budol. Now that's interesting, right? Because budol is grape. Budol is grape. So I don't know what hashi means, but it kind of makes sense that the word grape is a subset of the word raisin, or like a substring.
干しぶどう、
Oh yeah, this is ho. Okay, hoshi budol.
干しぶどう、
So let's just wing it, I suppose. Let's go straight to the quiz. I prefer to kind of learn by making mistakes on the quiz than to keep kind of reading the study table. So I'm going to swap the languages, so the questions are posed in Japanese and I have to write the English to start with. I'll apply random ordering that scrambles the order in which the questions are asked. And so let's make a start. So this is serori. It's katakana, it's a loan word. So this is celery. Cauliflower. So we have this dash here to extend the A from wa. Cauliflower is cauliflower. So that's just another loan word from English. And then this is hoshi budol. Now we know budol is grape. So this one is raisin. It helps us to remember things. Budol is grape. That's straightforward. And then this is beetle. Now, this is katakana. It's a loan word. It means beet. And then this is raimu. So the nice part here, raimu, is it's a katakana loan word. It comes from the English word lime. And then this is anzu. This is hiragana. So we cannot use this like loan words trick to guess what the word means, but it means apricot, if I recall correctly. And this is retasu, which means lettuce. It's another katakana loan word. Hatsuka daikon. It's a long word for radish, but that's how it is. And then the next one is avocado. So this is a katakana loan word, and it just means avocado. So there's not too much deviation between the English and the Japanese word here. Mame is a hiragana word, so it's not a loan word, and it just means beans. Or bean. And in Japanese, it's the same word if it's singular or plural, so I could have also written bean here. In any case, the next word would be lemon. The pronunciation here is a bit hard, right? Because there's an R and an L. It's somewhere in between. But it means lemon. And then the next one here is yonashi. What does that mean? I don't have a clue, so I'm going to get this one wrong. And it means pear. Pineapple. Pineapple is a loan word. It means pineapple. And momo. What does momo mean? Excuse me, sorry. I don't know this one either. It means peach. Peach. Peach versus apricot. Let's just quickly see. That's a peach. That's an apricot. Fine. Momo means peach. Yonashi is pear. So the best approach here is to just redo the quiz. So, beetle is beet. Bado is grape. Sorry, budou. Avocado is avocado. Anzu is apricot. Hoshibudou. So budou means grape. Hoshibudou means raisin. Yonashi is pear. That's the one that we got wrong earlier. And then this is raimu. Raimu is a lime. It's katakana. Hatsuga daikon is a radish. And this is retasu. Retasu is lettuce. Yeah, because it's katakana is a loan word. So that's straightforward. And this is mame. It's hiragana. So no guessing using the English equivalent. But it just means beans. Pineapple. Pineapple is pineapple. And then this is cauliflower. It's once again a katakana loan word, which means cauliflower. Serory is celery. And then momo. Oh, gotta lock in here. So it's not an apricot. It's a peach. It's a peach. And then this is lemon. Lemon is lemon. So we're doing okay so far. So why not just, once again, increase the difficulty level by adding an additional 5 words? And so we'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll hide the unselected words. Okay, so there's a bunch of junk food. And it's all katakana. Keiki. Candy. Candy. Because this E is half size, so I think this just means D. Candy.
Candy.
And the way that we can check this is if we go to Lingo Command on a different tab and we go to katakana foreign yun combinations. Where is this? Yeah, here it is. D.
D. D.
Okay. Candy. Chocolate is... Okay, so this is a katakana yun combination. Chi and yo becomes cho. Ko, ra, chocolate.
Chocolate.
Chocolate. And then this is cookie. So this is cookie. Oh, so you have this sokon as a pause. So it's cookie. Not cookie.
Cookie.
Cookie. Cookie. So you need that pause because of the sokon. Fine. And then that leaves us with potato chip.
Potato chip.
Potato chip. So this should be fairly straightforward. Perhaps a little bit cheeky, but because they're all katakana words, let's just add another 5 because it's fairly straightforward. So this is kuro, kuro, kuro. So this is va and this is tsu. Croissant.
クロワッサン、
Croissant. That's interesting. This is actually structurally quite different to croissant.
クロワッサン、
Okay. Donatsu.
ドーナツ、
Donatsu. Ice cream is ice cream.
アイスクリーム、
Ice cream. And then this is popcorn. 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 Popcorn.
ポップコーン、
Popcorn. Okay, so you pronounce the U here in pu. And then pudding is pudding. Pudding.
プリン、プリン、
But just once again, more katakana. I'm trying to take a look at this list of words here. And this is all katakana with the sole exception of Turkey, which is... At this point, we might as well just like do the whole quiz. So why don't we just do that? So let's just take this. Let's just uncheck everything here. Or I think the best approach is actually you don't do select words. There we go. So now we've just got the whole quiz. And the only one here that is hiragana is Turkey. So this is Shichimencho. Shichimencho.
七面鳥、
Shichimencho. So let's do the whole quiz, see how this goes. So we're gonna swap the languages and apply random ordering. And this is beet. Beetle is beet. Momo is a peach. And then this is my ne no myonezu. Oh, myonezu. And this is actually not a yun combination because this ma and yo are both full-sized. So this is mayonezu, which is mayonnaise. The question is, how do you spell that in English? Mayonnaise? Mayonnaise. Okay. Gotta improve my English here. Anzu is apricot. Hatsuka doikon is a radish. Sufu. Supu. Oh, soup. Retasu is lettuce. Keiki is cake. And punatsu bata. Punatsu bata. Punatsu bata. It's peanut butter. You can hear it. This is just peanut butter. Yeah. And then this is potato fries. Potato fry. So this is French fries. And then the next one, once again katakana, is hotodo. And this is gu. Hotodogu. Hotodogu. Oh, this hot dog. I want to point out here, you got these sokon, half size 2, so they act as pauses. So this is hotodogu. Hotodogu. I believe, for the pronunciation. Moving on to the next one. So this is jusu. Just saying it, you can hear what that is if you speak English. Juice. The next one. Hamburger. Or burger. Let's put hamburger. Let's see what happens. Yeah, okay. Moving on. So the next one here is avocado. Also, it's another loan word. Avocado. And that leaves us with the next one, which is lime, which is lime. This is lemon, which is lemon. And this is kuki. Kuki. So here we have sokon. This half size 2 acts as a pause. And then this dash here extends the vowel sound in ki. So it's kuki. Kuki. Which means cookie. And then the next one here is wafuru. Wafuru. Sokon here acts as a pause. Wafuru means waffle, presumably. Mame is a Japanese word, not a loan word, and it's just beans. And then the next one here is sandwich. Sandwich, right? Sandwich. The next one here is purin, which means pudding. And then we've got popcorn. Next one here is candy, which is candy. Serori is celery. Donatsu is donuts. That should actually be considered acceptable. So let's make a quick code change. Donuts. Because in Japanese, whether it's singular or plural, you'd use the same word. So here we have donut, and we should make donuts an acceptable answer also. I won't push this now, just so that, well, actually I will. Then the quiz is fixed. So let's just quickly make that fix. Allowing donuts as acceptable answer. And we are on the development branch, so we need to push that to production. This will only take another 2 seconds. Please excuse the delay. And so in 2 minutes, that fix will be pushed. Going back here, we have croissant. It's croissant. Hoshi budou. So budou means grape. Hoshi budou means raisin. And that sort of means it's kind of internally consistent, right? Because to make a raisin, you just dry grape. Masuta do. Mustard. Gotta be. Cauliflower is cauliflower. Now, This is the tricky one. Shichimencho. It means turkey. Okay, so this next one, this is chi, this is yo, but this yo is half size. This forms a katakana yun combination called chocolate. Chocolate. It's chocolate, right? Straightforward enough. This next one here is ketchup. Ketchup. It's ketchup. Ice cream. So ice cream. And then this is potato chip. We got the soko in here for a pause so that we can place extra emphasis on the P in pu. Potato chip. Potato. Is that like crisps, actually? Another bug here. Let's make a super quick fix. Both of those should have been allowed. Crisps. So we'll allow crisps as an answer. And we'll allow potato chips. And let's quickly fix that change, or like apply. Fix, allowing crisps or potato chips as allowed answer. Let's push that quickly. Git branch, git checkout development, git merge prod. Okay, next one. So this is pineapple. Pineapple, self-explanatory. And the next one is budol. So that is grape. We spoke about that earlier when we were covering raisin. Yonashi is pear. And this is sarada. Sarada is salad. So that's pretty decent. We got a 92% average here. No need to check the performance dashboard. Let's see. So one mistake was misspelling mayonnaise in English. We don't need to worry about that too much. This was like a coding issue. So was this. So essentially that's like effectively 100%. I could practice going from English to Japanese. But I think actually we have a decent grasp of this vocabulary. And so I think perhaps the best way to continue onwards is to go back to this verbs 3 list that I had some issues with last time. So let's give this a go. Let's swap languages. We'll apply random ordering. We want our questions in hiragana and katakana. Konomu is to prefer. Manabu is to learn. Jushoku o taberu is to eat dinner. Kairu is to change. Tsuzukeru is tsuzukeru. Is that to continue? Teikyo suru is to serve food, for example. So that's something that a server or waiter would do. And then this is kikoiru. Yeah, so in Japanese you have a distinguishment, 2 different words for active and passive listening. So kikoiru is the passive one, which is like to hear, say. So if you heard a noise, you'd use kikoiru. But if you're listening to a person, you'd use kiku. Just wanted to point that out. Kanjiru is to feel. Kanji, I think, means feeling. Oeru is to finish. And then this is ryo. So we have a hiragana yun combination here. So this ri and half size yo becomes ryo. Ryori suru, which means to cook. The real question is, so someone explained to me yesterday, when you add suru at the end of a verb, it takes a Chinese noun and turns it into a Japanese verb. So it's worth investigating. What does ryori mean? As like a Chinese noun. So let's go to verbs 3 and go to cook. And we want to select the katakana here. So I'm pretty sure if I take this and go to Google Translate, maybe it means something like kitchen? It still means cooking. Oh, cooking is actually, I think, can also be a noun. Is cooking also a noun? Yeah, for example, in the sentence authentic Italian cooking, cooking would be a noun. Interesting. So here, miru is to look at. Noboru is to go up, as in climbing. And then this is shomo suru. What could that possibly mean? Shomo suru. Shomo suru. We'll come back to that one. I'm not sure. Ryoko suru is to travel. Konomu is to like. And then this next one, chushoku o taberu. So I think if it's with the U here in chushoku, it's to eat lunch. And if it was choshoku o taberu, it would be to eat breakfast. So this was the other form for like listening, right? So you had kikoiru is passively listening, like you heard a noise. And kiku is to actively listen, like you're listening to a person, so it's to listen to. This is shiteiru, which is like to know, presumably like to know a person. So like, oh, I know Jack, I know Bobby. Asobu is to play. And then uru is to sell. Shitagao is to follow. Setsumei suru is to explain. Hi there. I'm not quite sure what the kanji here means, so I'm just gonna put that in Google Translate. But I see sokon and then it's tenet. So let's put this in Google Translate so I can see what this means. Ganbate. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. Choshoku o taberu. So because there's an O here, it's not to eat lunch, it's to eat breakfast instead. And nomu is to drink. And harau is to pay. Which leaves us with shomo suru. I think it's something like to wear, as in wear out. There we go. Come on, yes, 100%. We'll save that result, and let's just take a quick look at our performance dashboard. Okay. Why don't we try and do verbs 2? It's been a while since I covered that topic. So I'll apply the quiz. And we want our questions in hiragana and katakana. Now, I think there are no katakana verbs, right? Because so far I just haven't seen that at all. But let's take a look. So this is tojiru. I think it means to close. Ikiru is to live. Hataraku is to work. Iru is to need. It can also like to be temporary, but I think the kanji is different. Benkyou suru is to study. And then tatsu. I don't remember tatsu. So I'm gonna come back to that one. This is tazuneru is to ask for or to ask. And then this is chumon suru. It's like to order. And not to order someone around. It's more like to order a product. Makeru is to lose. And that's not like to lose an item or not be able, but like as opposed to winning. So like I lost the race. The next one here. So we have sokon acting like as a pause. So this is mottekuru. Mottekuru. What could that mean? Mottekuru. We'll come back to that one. Hopefully it'll come back to me. Omou is to think. Kotairu. Kotairu. Hikoiru is to listen. What is kotairu? Oh, it means to answer, like to answer a question. Utau is to sing. Toru. It's to what is toru? Oh, that's tricky. I'll come back to that one. Akeru is to begin. What's to open? Kau. It's starting to get hard. Tazuneru is to ask. Hajimeru. Oh, is to begin or to start. Hashiru is to run. Kiru is to wear. Yeah, okay. So I should be a bit more specific here as in to wear like clothes, but fine. Hakobu is to carry as in transport. So to carry an item around would be hakobu. Chikai. No, it's not chikai. It's a chigasu. Not even a sagasu is what it says. So that means to look for. And I wanted to point out, so sagasu is what you'd use if you were looking for something but you haven't found it. Mitsukeru is if you actually found it, like it's worth pointing out. Kaku. Come back to that one. Odoru is to dance. Aruku is to walk. What is tatsu? I think it's to leave. Yeah, okay. And mottekuru is to bring. Okay, we're getting somewhere. What is toru? What is toru? This is difficult. Toru. I don't know. To take. And kaku. I think it's something with money. Is it to pay? Let's take a look. So I wrote to pay. Oh, it's to buy. This is kind of similar, but oh, so this is kau, and then kaku. Is this to pay? Kaku is to write. Okay, so some improvements definitely need to be made here. So let's take a look at what we got wrong. So akeru is to open. Toru is to take. Kau is to buy. To wear clothes, yeah, okay. Kaku is to write. Let's see if we can get higher than 80%. So we're going to reapply random ordering and go again. So toru was to take. Kiru was to wear, as in clothes. I gotta like kind of do it in an expected format. So okay, to take, to wear clothes. Omou is to think. Motte kuru is to bring. Makeru is to lose. Tazuneru is to ask. Sagasu is to look for. And kau is to buy. Hashiru is to run. Tatsu is to leave. Hakobu is to carry, as in transport. So to carry an item around, for example. And then this says hataraku is to work. Utau is to sing. And then kotaeru is to answer, like to answer a question. Hajimeru is to begin or to start. And kaku is to write. Benkyou suru is to study. So I think this might be another case where benkyou is a Chinese noun, and when you add suru, it turns it into a Japanese verb. So benkyou, the kanji for it, might mean something like studies or education. I'll need to investigate that, but I think that's how that works. Tazuneru is to ask or to ask for. Aruku is to walk. Akeru is to open. Okay. Ikiru is to live. Odoru is to dance. And then next one, chūmon suru is to order, as in product. Just to order an item. This is frustrating because the code is kind of accepting like certain strings. So if you write it in a different structure, it considers it incorrect. But for all intents and purposes, that was correct. Hojiru is to close. Iru is to need. Okay, that was pretty good. A 96% average, and that last one was a bit of a silly silly thing here. Why don't we try occupations? This is another topic that I covered a couple of days ago. And for this one, I'm gonna step up the difficulty level. So I'm gonna try and answer. No. First, I'm gonna go from Japanese to English, and then I'll try English to Japanese, if there's enough time. So, here we have Geijutsuka is artist. Business woman is businesswoman. Rihatsushi is a barber. And the next one here is Saibankan is a judge. Ishi is doctor. Yakusha is actor. And Nikya is butcher. Kei Satsukan is police officer. Hisho is secretary. Biyoshi is hairdresser. So the difference between the Biyoshi and Rihatsushi. Biyoshi, I think, is predominantly used by women, for like a female hairdresser. And Rihatsushi, I think, is predominantly for men, like a men's barber. From what I saw online. Sekkou is a mason or like a bricklayer. And then this is computer technician. Right? That kind of speaks for itself. It's just computer technician. If we can spell that correctly in English. Computer technician. And then the next one here is shacho. Shacho. So that's like a company president. Or like a CEO, presumably. Joshi, similar but not quite the same as a boss. No. Because look, it doesn't even say Joshi. It says Jui. I'm just making stuff up. That's horrible. Shikai is dentist. Shikai. Daiku is a carpenter. Dobokusagyoin is a construction worker. Kochi is a katakana. It's a loan word, and it means coach. Coach is in like a football coach or a basketball coach, a sports coach. Businessman. Monogaki is a writer, an author. Kyoju is a professor. And then here we've got something interesting. So this is shefu, so obviously it means chef. But the interesting part here is this is shi, and this is a half-sized e. So this forms something called a foreign katakana yun combination. And so this shi and this e becomes she. Just wanted to kind of point that out. Here we've got joshi, which means, what is joshi? I think that's boss. Bengoshi is a lawyer or an attorney. And then this is programa, which is like programmer or software engineer. I think that's the spelling in English, programmer. And then this is Noka, it's a farmer. And then this is Kaikeshi, which means an accountant. Gishi is an engineer. Rejigakari is a cashier. And the way that I remember this is if Rejigaka, that sounds like register, which is, and a cashier uses a register, right? So Unno Senshu is an athlete. Seibishi is a mechanic. And this is Jubin Haitatsuin. It's like a mail carrier or a poster. And then this one, Toshokanin. So Toshokan means library. Toshokanin, I guess, is somebody that works in a library. A librarian, right? This is Shoboshi. Is a firefighter. Kangoshi is a nurse. That then leaves us with Kisha, that's a reporter. And this is Ueta, which is like a waiter. You know, someone at a restaurant that brings out the food. So that's 97%. Let's take a look at the one that we got wrong. 10位. So I think now would be a perfect time to try and increase the difficulty level on this by, so we're gonna uncheck swap languages. So now the questions are posed in English, and I'm gonna handwrite my answers. And I'll uncheck and recheck random ordering to kind of re-scramble the order in which the questions are asked. So here we get this kind of Photoshop looking component in which we can handwrite our answers. So in Japanese, if I'm not mistaken, judge is sai ban kan. So let's write that in hiragana. So this is sai. And then ba. What is ba? So we need to write ha, which is this thing. Let's try and write that more neatly. So that's ha, and then if we apply dakuten, that becomes ba. Then we need an n, and we'll zoom out to kind of give ourselves a bit more space. So this is saiban kan. All right, saiban kan. Let's take a look. Saiban kan. So that seems to be a one-to-one match. You might have noticed there's not a gap here because this is the typed version of sa. But if we click here to look at the stroke order, we see the gap here. So we'll give that a match. Konnichiwa. Benki desu ka? Genki desu ka? Yeah, genki desu. I'm good. How are you? Thanks for joining the stream. So doctor is ishi. So let's write that. So this is I, and this is shi. Simple enough. Okay, so this one's kind of tricky, right? Because it's dobok sa gyo in. So to write do, this is to, and we're going to apply dakuten to go from, we know T goes to D when you apply dakuten. And then bo, so we're going to just have to write ho, which is this. Then the next one here is ku, but you don't pronounce the U much, or I guess you do. Doboksa. So this is sa, and then we need gyo, so this is going to be a yun combination. So actually, let's zoom in and pan to the right a little bit here. So we need gyo. So here we're just going to write ki, and then we need yo, but it's, sorry, we need, so this is ki, and then you apply dakuten, because K goes to G when you apply dakuten, right? So this is gyo, and then we need a full-sized U, an I, and an N. This word is getting kind of long. Let's submit our answer and take a look. So, dobok sa. This is the yun combination I spoke about. Gyoin. So that's all a match. Now let me take a look at what you wrote. Watashi mo genki desu yo. So watashi means I, so you're saying, oh, I'm good also. Okay, that's good to hear. And then you wrote itekure te arigato. Oh, itekure te arigato. Something, thank you. So let's just take a quick look let's put this in Google Translate and see what that first part is about. This is good for my Japanese, your messages. Thank you so much. Okay, let's just try and do one more here. So Mason. What is Mason? I remember there's like a double K-O-U. I think it's set ko. So set. What is that in hiragana again? I think it's this thing. Let's try and write that more neatly. And then here we're going to need sokuon. So that's this thing. This is a half-size tsu that acts as a pause, and then we can place extra emphasis on the K here in ko. And I think we need to stick a U here at the end. So this is set ko. Set ko, fantastic. Kanji benkyou hajimete wa beiji na desu yo. Benkyou is to study. Kanji is feeling, I guess. Hajimete is something to do with beginning, because hajimeru is to begin. And then daiji na desu yo. Let's take a look at this. Learning kanji for the first time is important. Kanji. Okay, I'm taking kanjiru, but you're writing kanji. Hi. I'm definitely gonna try and like revisit all of this and practice kanji. So thank you so much for pointing that out. What I was hoping to do, I think this might be a decent approach. So writer, by the way, is monogaki. This is mo no. This is ka. Let's apply dakuten to make it ga, and then this is ki. Monogaki. Is at the moment, if I can hear what people are saying, if I can kiku, what people are saying, then I can kind of absorb some Japanese like via listening. And so once I can semi do that, I thought I could revisit and like practice the kanji. But to be fair, also I can now kind of do like make a start on kanji. I actually did learn some kanji for numbers. Having said that, this is something like ju i. So this is shi with dakiten becomes ji. This is yu. This is ju, and then we need a u here and then an I. Ju-i. Athlete is undo. Undo. Senshu. So let's give this a go. So this is un. Do. I'm not sure about this, but I think there's a U here. And then it's sen. And then we need shu. So here we're going to write shi and yu. And I don't think there's a U here at the end. So I think it's undo senshu. Undo senshu. So that's a perfect match. Fantastic. I don't know how common monogaki is. I've only heard sa, ka. Oh, is that monogaki is not common? I see. I will have to, I guess, just keep learning Japanese and pick up. But thank you so much for pointing that out. I'll make sure to be careful in that regard. So secretary, I think it's something like hisho. And so this would be he. This is she, and then this is yo. But here we want a half-sized yo. Hisho. Hisho. Okay, so I see that I've missed some comments, so let me just try and read this. So you wrote, actually, if I go like this, y'all can also see it. And then we can read it together. So, okay, so this was kanji. It's important to learn. We already had that one. And this is na, ra, ba, anime, o. Don't know that kanji, but te wa ii desu yo. Ii desu yo. I've heard that word, but it's okay or something. So are you basically suggesting like maybe like practice like listening to anime or something? If so, you should watch anime. Yes, I'm a big anime fan, but uh, I don't really spend enough time like listening to the actual Japanese at the moment. But thank you so much for the suggestion. I will. What I'm hoping to do actually when it comes to sorry, I'm just trying to find the conversation thing here. Actually, I can put this over here. That might be useful. So, Professor. Oh, I keep messing this up. So sorry. I'll move this down. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I'm just trying to clean up these settings. So, oh, I've made such a mess of the chat. What is going on? I will read the responses in a second. I'm so sorry. Let me just try and do one more word. So, professor is kyoju. So this is ki. This is yo. So this yo is going to be half-sized because we want a yun combination here. Then we'll stick a u here. And then here we want ju. So this is she. With dakitani on top becomes ji. And then we just want another yun combination here. So this is ju. So it's kyoju. Kyoju. Fantastic, that's a match. Okay, so let me just read some more of the comments. I'll pop out the chat. Here we go. So you wrote here, o desu ne. No, this is so desu ne. Oh, like, is that so? Yeah, okay. And then the next part is ore mo so omou ta. Ore mo so omou ta. I think this means omo is to think. Oremo is me too. I think so too. I thought so too. Yeah, okay. I'm reading some Japanese. That's so cool. Perhaps what I can do is if I do this, then we can view the chat and take a look at this all on one screen. Sorry guys, technical difficulties here. Let's give this a go, see if this works. So going to the next one, actor I think is yaksha. So this is ya. ku. This is shi. And then we want a half-sized ya to form this yun combination. So let's try and write that here. Yaksha. Okay, that's going well. Let me try and read this word. Let's see if I can zoom in here on the chat. So this is zen daijou. Zen daijoubu. Oh, that's like, I think it means like all is well, like it's not a problem. Arigato. Let's just check, see if that's if that's actually what that means. It's totally fine. Yeah, okay, so the sentiment was kind of understood there. Okay, so going on to the next one. Programma, it's this is fu. When you apply handakuten, it becomes pu. Then we need ro. Pro. And then here you're gonna write ku, which is this thing. And when you apply handakuten, or sorry, dakuten, it becomes gu. So this is progur. And then we need ra. And then it's ma. And then we have a dash here to extend the vowel sound. So this is programma. Does this setup kind of like look okay? Where I've got this as like the app and then the chat here. Is this something like joshi? I think it is, you know. So this is shi. And we'll apply dakuten, so this becomes ji, and then we have half-sized yo. So this is jo shi. Joshi. Yeah, that looks good to me. Okay, this one is kind of tricky. So it's something like bijinesu wo uman. So here, this is he. Oh, that was correct. That was incorrect stroke order. I think that comes first and then this. So this is he. Apply dakuten to make it B. Then we need. So this is she. And when you. Now that I'm thinking about it, dakuten is this way. So, we gotta redo this. This is like so. That's G. And then this is my favorite hiragana. Let's try and write that a little bit more neatly. Biji ne. And so we'll zoom out here, give ourselves a bit of space. This is su. Biji ne su. And then here we're going to write u. Always found the stroke order for u a little bit confusing because let's pan to the right here. You start here and then you have this one and then you go like that. Then you extend the vowel sound using this dash and then it's man. So let's zoom out and let's see how much we can fit here. Business uman. So that's a match. Fantastic. Hairdresser is Yoshi. And by the way, I think perhaps it is a little nicer for the viewers to kind of just look at the app in full screen. So let's try this. Yeah, I think that's easier to look at, isn't it? Okay, so hairdresser. And that's a bit much. I think it's something along the lines of Biyoshi. So that's incorrect stroke order again. Sorry, I'm just sorting out some setup stuff here. Okay, so this is heat, and when we apply, so okay, bad looks like this. So this is the correct direction for Dakuten. And then we need a full-sized yo. Then we need a u, and then we have shi. Oh, what am I doing? I wrote he in katakana. So this is completely wrong. That's silly. That's very silly. Okay, so coach is this. This is ko. We extend the vowel sound and then we write chi. Simple enough. Kochi. Librarian is toshokanin. And so let's write this. So this is to. Let's start here on the left just to give ourselves a bit more space. And let's zoom in a little bit. So this is to. This is shi. And then we add a half-sized yo. So this is not shi and yo, but it's a hiragana yun combination. Sho. Then we have ka. So this is toshokan. And then we have in here. Toshokanin. Toshokanin. Firefighter is sho boshi, if I remember correctly. So this is shi. This is yo. So this is sho. And then boshi. So here we need to write ho, which is this thing. And then we apply dakuten, because H goes to B when you apply dakuten. And then we need another U, and then we need shi. Let's write that shi a little bit more neatly. Shoboshi. Yeah, that looks good to me. Going on to the next one. This is kind of confusing, right? This is shefu. To write this, you actually write. So this is. Sorry, let me try and write this more neatly. 1, 2, 3. This is shi. And then I'm gonna write a half-sized e. So this forms a foreign katakana yun combination called she. And then we have fu here. You see this e here is half-sized. Dentist is it shikai? I think it might be, Shi kai. Try and draw this a little bit more neatly. Shikai. Mail carrier. Oof, this is a long one. So it's yu bin hai ta tsu in, if I'm not mistaken. So you. It always kind of looks like a fish to me. See, like kind of like a fish. Anyways, then you put this dash here, so that's you. Then I think you just have u. You been. Okay, so B. So I'm not gonna make this mistake again, where I'm gonna write he in katakana, because this is obviously hiragana. Then I'm gonna apply dakuten, so this becomes B. You been. Hai. And then ta is this. This is tsu. I'm gonna go to the next line. You been hai ta tsu in. Let's try and write this a little bit more neatly. You been hai ta tsu in. I would say that's a match, so that's great. Is this kisha? think it might be. So when you handwrite ki, you leave this gap. The typed version that you see on computers is this one. So this is ki, and then we write shi, and then we need a half-sized ya. So this forms a hiragana yun combination, so it's not shi ya, it's sha. Kisha. Farmer is no ka. By the way, I hope I'm able to see the comments. Like, I was kind of faffing around with the settings earlier. So hopefully I'm not, if there are any comments, ignoring them. Please bear with me. Sorry about that. So this is noka, which means farmer. So that's going okay. I think this is something like kai keshi. Is that right? Kai keshi? Let's just write it and see what happens. So this is kai. This is kei shi. Kai kei shi. Okay, now we get to the really hard part. So this is kon. And then here we need pu. So we need to write hu. Fu. But what is fu in katakana? Fu is this thing. To turn it into pu, you apply handakiten, which is this circle. But then we're gonna form like a... No, this is wrong. This is wrong. Actually, what we need is p. So this is hi. We apply circle, handakuten, so this becomes p. This is yu, but half size, so this forms a katakana yun combination, pyu. We use the dash to extend the vowel sound. Then we write ta. And actually, I'll just go to the next line. So it's computa. And then te. What is te? Te is this thing. Te. And then ku is this. Computa te ku. Ni is this. This is shi. This is ya. This forms a hiragana yun combination called sha. And then we just need an n. So it's computa technician with the yun combination there. So let's take a look. Computa technician. We did it. This is kangoshi. Go, so we need handakuten, right? K goes to G. Kangoshi. This one's kind of similar. It's bengoshi. So this is he. We apply dakuten to make it be. This is n. Let's write that more neatly. This is ko, so we use this to make it go. And then this is shi, bengoshi. Artist is oh, this is tricky. Something like gyu. Something like gu ju tsuka. Oh, it's geijutsuka. So I think it's, this is ket. When you apply handakuten or dakuten, it becomes get. Gei. Ju. I think we have an additional hue here, so it's gei ju. Sorry, please excuse the cough. This is tsu, and then this is ka. So it's geijutsuka. Let's take a look. Geijutsuka. Geijutsuka. Fantastic. Carpenter is daiku. Daiku. So this is ta. So this is da. This is I. That's ku. Daiku. Engineer is gishi. Gishi. So this is... let's try and write that a little bit more neatly. We are applying dakuten because K goes to G, so we need gi. And then this is shi. And then waiter, this one's kind of tricky, right? So I think you start with full-sized U. I think that this is a foreign katakana yun combination. So this U and this small e is pronounced we. So this is we. And then we need I, so that's this thing. And then it's just ta. So this is wei ta, and then you put a dash here to extend the vowel sound. So this is... That's a match, fantastic. Company, it's something like shacho. So here we just have shi, and then we need ya. But this ya is half-sized. So, let's try and write that a little bit more neatly. This half-sized ya and this shi form a hiragana yun combination. So it's not shi ya, it's sha. Then we just need... Let's try and write this a little bit more neatly. This is chi. So if I then write yo, which is this thing, this is another hiragana yun combination. So this is not shi yo, it's cho. Sha cho. And then I think you just need a u at the end. Sha cho. That's the job done. Fantastic. Butcher is kind of nice, right? Because in Japanese, the word for meat is niku. And if you just stick ya at the end, you get someone that deals with meat, a butcher. So that's it. Niku. Ya. Mechanic is sei bishi. That could be written a little bit more neatly. So that's se, that's I. And then this is he, and when you apply dakuten, it becomes bi. This is she. So this is seibishi, which is a mechanic. Seibishi. Police officer is kai satsukan. It's keisatsukan. 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 And then this is bijinesuman. So that is he. This way it becomes B. Let's try and write this a little bit more neatly. This is she, and if you apply dakuten, it becomes G. This is... Oh, almost went wrong there. That's ne. Su. We'll go to the next line here. So this is ma. Businessman. Businessman. Fantastic, another match. Barber. Rihatsu. Rihatsu. Let's write this more neatly. Rihatsu shi, if I'm not mistaken. So this is ri. This is ha. Tsu shi. Hatsushi. Now this ri here is the typed form of ri. But if you click here, this is the handwritten form. You can see that that's a match. Fantastic. Which just leaves us with reji ga ka ri. So let's write that. So re in hiragana is that. This is shi. You apply dakuten, it becomes ji. This is ka. Now it's ga with dakuten on top. Then you just gotta write it again. Reji ga ka. And then we need ri. Reji ga ka ri. Once again, we can see that this is the handwritten form of ri. And so that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Let's see which one do we get wrong. Byoshi. Oh yeah, I remember writing a hi here in katakana. Now, perhaps I can make a start on some... Maybe on some kanji would be nice, actually. So, I had a brief look at the kanji ages ago for animals, but it's been ages. So let's see. I have a feeling this is neko. Oh yeah, of course, the answers here are going to be in English, right? Because we're getting the questions in Japanese and we're answering in English. So, cat. This looks like niwatori to me, which is chicken. This is dog. Uma is a horse. Usagi is a rabbit. And then this thing we see here, right? So I'm guessing the pronunciation for this kanji is niwa. And then this is tori. So this is tori, so it's bird. This is sheep. Cow. Pig. Fish. Okay, so that was straightforward enough. Why don't we try this? I think this is onaka, which is stomach. I think this is senaka, the back. This one here is ashi, which is leg. And then we get it again here, so it's like leg or foot, same thing. I think this means mouth. Is this ears? And I think this might be eyes. And this is atama. This is crazy. What are we missing, actually? So we've got 3 more left. One of these is ude, which is arm. Is this arm? One of them is yubi, is finger, if I remember correctly. Perhaps this one? Oh, so this is finger. That wasn't half bad. This is hand, te. I I think this might be the perfect place to stop for today's live stream. I think next time I will probably go back to the verbs for list to continue improving my verbs. But thank you so much for those of you that have joined the stream. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. That would really help support the channel. It would support me to continue making videos like this and to keep working on lingocommand.com. That's the website that we've been using during this live stream, which also comes with an accompanying iOS app, which is basically just the exact same stuff, but in the form of a mobile app. But in any case, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next live stream.